Look at this fresh bacon. Look at that. Look at all that pepper on it. That is gorgeous bacon. When you make your own, you can season it the way you want to. And I have videos on it, so y'all go check those out. But look at how beautiful that bacon is. All right, so in bacon you see there's fat, there's a meat, there's fat, there's meat, there's fat, there's fat, there's meat, there's fat. That's beautiful bacon there, and that's homegrown. It's even got a reddish tint, and I didn't even use any kind of cure other than salt and sugar and pepper. But look at that bark, that natural bark, and it smells so good. Fresh bacon, fresh butter, fresh milk, fresh honey. Not fresh coffee, but really good. Big helper, babysitter, and breakfast is going.
So if you're worried that a chance will pass you by.
So it's early morning before we go on the farm. We are gonna make fresh biscuits because that's what the girls wanted. You see the bacon going, sausage going. So let's get into the biscuit recipe because these are the best biscuits you'll ever eat. So we use 2 cups, a little over 2 cups, about 2 1/4 cups of unbleached all-purpose flour. We use King Arthur because we like it. It's a non-GMO flour and it's unbleached. You can use whatever you want. We use organic flour here and there, but just make sure it's unbleached all-purpose flour when you start your biscuits. So a lot of our girls like a more packier biscuit. So we use about 1/2 tablespoon of baking powder. You can use up to about 2.5 teaspoons or almost a full tablespoon if you want to. That's gonna give you more of a fluffier biscuit, but sometimes it gives you a breaky biscuit. It tends to crumble. So if you tend to make it a little bit more packier, it actually holds up. You can put more stuff on it, and it makes almost like a bun versus it crumbling too much. Simple pinch of salt. We always put 2 little pinches actually, but we're not getting too technical. Okay, to me, the magic in making biscuits, you can use oil, you can use shortening. We have lard, but I like using fresh raw butter. You can pick up any butter at the store, I imagine, but we like using butter. It tends to do better. We crumble it up, we cut it up tiny little pieces so we can put it in there and incorporate it all in the dough. And you get those little morsels going through the biscuits. That's what we really like. We usually use probably, it'd be equivalent to about 1/2 stick, cut up in little fine spots, put in there. If you want a more greasy or butter biscuit, you can put more. If you want something, if you're trying to say, okay, we don't need that much grease going into the biscuits, you can pull it back a little bit. Okay, so you know we put salt in there, but you don't want an over salty biscuit, but you want a little salt to it, but we add a little sweetener to it. Now you can add sugar. We have added organic sugar before. We like using our true raw honey. So we'll put a little raw honey in there. Usually we put about a tablespoon. Misty gets a little sweet toothy and she puts a little bit more, doesn't she? Mine's not as sweet as Misty's, but we put about a tablespoon of honey, and that just gives that little touch of sweetness but not overkill. Okay, so you want to put about a cup of milk. Now you may use, it may be a little bit under, a little bit over, just depending on the consistency of biscuit you're wanting. We use a cup. That gives it kind of real thick, not watery at all, but also helps us to be able to kind of work our hands in the dough. We're going to spray our pan and I get this mixed up. All right, Bill, you mix it for us. Next up, let's get some spray for the pan. You can cook this in just about anything. We like cast iron or clay pot, like a clay pan. We don't really like the glass because to me it don't cook as much. Misty will cook it in glass, but I like a crust on it, so I like to cook it in a hard pan. Back to the very best part of this breakfast. Biscuits rolled out. We do like a drop biscuit, so that way, I mean, if you want to make them pretty, you just flour your hands and make them all pretty, but we like ours, and you're going to see the big clumps of butter in it. That just makes it even cook and taste better. Actually, believe it or not, the butter helps it smooth out. So if you're looking for a biscuit that's going to flatten down a little bit, the butter will help get it to that point. We're going to cook these now. This mixture makes anywhere from 6 to 10 biscuits depending on the size. We usually go around 8 just because we have 8 people in the family, which one's not eating, but Aiden usually eats 2 biscuits. So that gives us anywhere from 6 to 8 biscuits. Typical, if you want to make them small, like little handheld biscuits, 10 would do it, but you don't want to make a biscuit too big because then it's dough in the middle or you got to cook it too much on the outside. The main thing is don't crust your biscuit so much on the outside to where it's not enjoyable. So we crust it just enough on the outside, but still has that good bready taste in the inside. Sausage. It is not breakfast time yet. Why are you stealing my bacon?
Good.
Biscuits are done. They look good too. Crusty and yummy. What'd you think about them, Helper?